And today I bring you a message that deals with discernment, a message for you to question every single spirit, a message for you to not hide your feelings and to ask the questions that are required of you. A message in 1 John 4. Dear friends, do not believe every spirit, but test the spirits to see whether they are from God. Because many false prophets have gone out into the world. This is how you can recognize the Spirit of God. Every spirit that acknowledges that Jesus Christ has come in the flesh is from God. But every spirit that does not acknowledge Jesus is not from God. There are 3 questions. You could write it down or you could make a mental note of it. I've learned in these couple of months 3 questions. When you're dealing with people, whether it may be friends, co-workers, church members, household family members, you test every single spirit. And this is 3 questions. The first question is, whatever they're telling you, does it benefit you? That's number 1. Number 2, whatever they are telling you, does it benefit them? And number 3, whatever they are explaining to you, does it benefit God? So I will continue from the 3rd verse, where it says, but every spirit that does not acknowledge Jesus is not from God. This is the spirit of the Antichrist, which you have heard is coming, and even now is already in the world. As you can see, the chaos going on around you in this world today, it's something that you may not understand, but it's something that you can take a lesson from and learn from. There are going to be many leaders, different leaders, but how do you know if they are of the Spirit of God? Here's one thing that you should know. In John 10:10, okay, this is how you know the Spirit of God from the spirit of Satan. In John 10:10, it says, the thief comes only to steal, kill, and destroy. But I have come that they may have life and have it to the fullest. In other words, when you test in the Spirit, you read into what the Spirit is telling you to do or what the Spirit action is about. Satan will come to kill, destroy, separate, divide, and conquer. The Spirit of God is the Spirit of life. He breathes life into you. The Spirit of God brings people together. The Spirit of God is of love and not of hate. These are the things that you have to know, and that you have to have this discernment. And this discernment is not something that you can buy. It's something that you gain over life experience. In 1 John 4, verse 4, you, dear children, are from God and have overcome them. Because the one who is in you is greater than the one who is in the world. As it says in a different version that I like, it says in 1 John 4 verse 4, it says, I like this form better. Greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. It's greater than the God that is in you. And to follow that spirit than the gods that's in the world, the false leaders that we are blindly following, the spirits that we are not testing, but we are blindly following. We don't know who's who unless you question them, unless you test their spirit. Let me give you a parable, a story. There's this 15-year-old girl who grew up in a Haitian household. Strict parents, Christian parents. At the age of 15, the parents decide to give her some extra freedom. You could go outside, you could go to the library, you could go to school by yourself, you could come from school by yourself. They are entrusting her with these freedoms. She has these freedoms. The 15-year-old girl has a boyfriend. With these freedoms, she violates some of the restrictions and some of the rules and regulations. One thing's leading to another. She becomes pregnant. She doesn't know what to do. She comes home. She cries. She's in a room alone. She's crying. Tears are pouring out of her eyes. She doesn't understand what to do. She is scared because she feels like she violated her parents' rules. She defied her parents' laws. And she is scared of the backlash. She's afraid that her father is going to be disappointed. She's afraid that her mother is going to scream at her and yell at her. This goes on for 2 months. She doesn't know what to do. She's doing poorly in school. She's not thinking. She is not there. One day, as she's going to school, she's in front of the school, and this familiar face that's around the neighborhood walks up to her and says, I see you all the time, and these last couple of weeks you have not looked like yourself. What is wrong? She looks to him and says, I don't know how to say this. I just need someone to talk to. And I'm in trouble. He said, what is wrong? She says that I'm pregnant. And I'm only 15. He looks at her and says, you're not the first one and you're not the last one. This happens all the time. And she said, what do you mean? Like, what can I do? I'm going to get in trouble. He said, listen, I work at a clinic and I deal with people like you every day. If you want, I could take you to the clinic, to the abortion clinic, and I could help you get rid of the baby. He said, no, I don't think my parents. He said, your parents does not have to know. I can take you. There's no question asked. They'll never know. You'll get rid of the baby, and that'll be it. Let me pause the story right there. Those of you that's listening, if you know someone that's in this type of situation, when someone tells you that they're going to help you and they are going to help you with this situation to get rid of this child, it feels good at the moment. You feel like they are helping you. You feel like they are for you because you've been scared, you don't know what to do, and you're looking for answers, and this person comes with an answer. But are you testing the spirits? Is this for you? Question number one, does this benefit you? Emotionally, it benefits you because you don't know what to tell your parents. But the other question is, does it benefit God? And that other question that I asked, does it benefit that other person? These are the questions that you have to ask when you have a situation and someone is trying to help you. These are the questions that you have to ask. You have to test the spirit. Where is this spirit coming from? Remember, in John 10:10, it says the thief comes to steal, kill, and destroy. What is this person helping you to do? This person is helping this young 15-year-old girl to destroy her child. This person is helping this girl to divide, abort this child, separate the child from her. What will happen to this girl? She will ultimately be spiritually defeated. She will be mentally defeated. This will result in physical altercation. As she ponders about the situation, she goes home, she feels good. She goes to sleep, she feels good, and she met up with him the next day. But as she is talking with him, she feels something. She feels that something is not right, even though it feels good, even though the mom will never know, even though the father will never know. Something is not right. She starts to question the spirit. She turns to him and says to him, I know you are trying to help me, but something does not feel right. She turns away from him and says, I cannot do this. She gets out of the car, goes home. As she goes home, she is crying. Her mom receives her at the door and says, baby, what is wrong? And she explains to the mom and says, Mom, I've done something bad. And I'm pregnant. The mom is silent for a bit. The mom calls her husband. And the father talks to her and said, baby, I am very disappointed in you. I don't know where we went wrong. I don't know what rules we gave you. I don't know why would you do this. She said, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Someone tried to help me with the situation. Was going to take me to the clinic. The mother said, look, we're disappointed in you. We're sad that you did this. But two wrongs does not make a right. You cannot have the child and then get rid of it. That's killing. That's destruction. That's death.
Mm-hmm.
That is not of the Spirit of God.
Mm-hmm.
The Spirit of God is a spirit of life. You may have made a mistake, but don't let that mistake take you further in the destruction where Satan is going to have a hold of you.
Mm-hmm.
So in John 1, in 1 John 4, verse 4, it says, dear children, are from God. You are from God and have overcome them. Because the one who is in you is greater than the one who is in the world. Because the parents were Christians. She had that spirit in her. She had that spirit, and that the one that was in her was greater than the one that was telling her to get rid of the child. And the one that was in her overpowered the evilness of the other spirit.
Mm-hmm.
God is of life. In verse 5, it says, they are from the world and therefore speak from the viewpoint of the world. And the world listens to them. So if she was of the world, she would have listened to the man speaking from the world. It would have been beneficial for her to get rid of the child because she was from the world. But in verse 6, it says, we are from God. And whoever knows God listens to God. Whoever is not from God does not listen to us. This is how we recognize the spirit of truth and the spirit of falsehood.
Mm-hmm.
My dear friends, the spirits are rampant out there. There are many going through with this story that I told you. That's everyone's story. Everyone is going through that. You are faced with situations and answers to your problem that sounds good, that feels good. But just because it sounds good and it feels good and it feels like it's going to get rid of your problem does not mean it's for you. You have to answer and question, talk to the spirit, test the spirits, and then rebuke the spirit in the name of Jesus.
Amen.
You have to rebuke them, because although it's for you, does not mean it's good for you. Sugar tastes good. Candy tastes good. The cake is sweet and it tastes good. The wine that you taste, that you sip, may taste good. The alcohol that you drink may make you feel good. But just because it makes you feel good doesn't mean it's good for you.
Mm-hmm.
These are the spirit of Satan. And you have to test all the spirit. They're all here. And they're all coming to you to bring you down. Watch those spirits. In John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believe in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. God bless, stress
Hallelujah.
less, and let Yahweh give the rest.
Amen.
Amen.